So I was just reflecting on this past weekend, a remark that I got a lot that I just kind of want to reopen, examine, and deepen my reply further, because I just don't think it suffices for most people. And that was the question of, how long does it take to do your collage portraits? You know, people are just so fascinated by that because they do see the hard work that I put into it, and it's something novel, exciting. Something you don't always see in the art world is like a pure collage, looks like a painting, realistic portrait. And I appreciate that people see that. But when I say like, oh, it takes me 40 to 50 hours, which I think is a substantial amount of time compared to other artists, we take different amounts of time, depending on what you do. And to the outsider, that just blows their mind. They're like, oh, this would take me months, if not more. And I got that reply so much from different people. I thought it was really interesting. It felt kind of like a backhanded compliment in a way. Like, it was a compliment in that, I'm so enthralled by this, and there's no way I can even touch what you do. Like, I'm unable to do it. Like, it kind of gives your work exclusivity. But on the other hand, it touches on the notion of art. So much weight is put on time to make great art, and if you are not a connoisseur of the arts, you're gonna say stuff like this. And if you look into more of the art world, you'll see that even with abstract artists, especially, they work quick and everything, and there's some like genius abstract artists out there, and also Warhol, who wasn't like quite abstract but like more simplistic. Some of these works of art that are being sold for hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars took a few hours. So it's important to keep that in mind. It shouldn't be the ledger of time that makes great art. And that goes into my second point. It didn't just take me like 50 hours, to do these works of art. 50 hours is more in air quotes, because it actually took me thousands of hours to get to where I've gotten today, as far as being like, mastering my craft. And by my early 30s, I'm 36 now, by my early 30s, I had reached the 10,000 hour mark of being a master at what I do. And that's like a common notion out there, like with music and writing, whatever your skill set is, like you reach 10,000 hours and you become a master of what you do. So there's a caveat to saying, yeah, it took me 50 hours to do this art piece, when in reality it took me thousands of hours to get to that point. And also, one last thing I tell people is, and I try to not be, do it in like a snarky way, but I say I'm exercising a different part of my brain than the average person, be that. And I also say, you probably have skills that I don't have. It's good to check people, and also realize that they have special skills that I don't possess. So that happens, to do with a lot of things in life. And then, one more thing, there's an X factor. There's an X factor to what I do, what I can accomplish, even with all this labor, that I put into it. And I can't explain it. No one else can explain it. That's why it's an X factor. And that's what sets great artists apart. That we're never, we could write all the articles in the world about, this artist and that artist, but we'll never get to the heart of really where the genius came from. And I'm glad I have that X factor. I can't explain it. Sometimes that bothers people, but there's so many other artists out there. You can't explain what they do, and that's what makes the beauty of it. The beauty of life is